Jump form, what is it? What do we do? What are the impacts that it has? So jump form, as most of you would be well aware if you're looking at this video, is the central core of major developments as the concrete's building up, setting up the concrete floors and pouring the formwork, pouring the concrete in the formwork. And the jump form, in fact, is the cladding that goes around that jumping mechanism. I mean, for obvious reasons, it's an incredible marketing opportunity. I mean, it's in most cases is highlighted above the cityscape. It tends to be in CBD areas, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Perth. We haven't done one in Adelaide, but certainly across those other cities, we've done them. They are a bit of a specialty installation and product in that just understanding how they work, what the best ways to attach the signage is, etc., etc. So in thinking about, if you ring us and want to talk about jump forms, a couple of things to bear in mind. The production of the sign can be in one of two ways. It can either be made of a mesh, which gives it a bit more airflow, not that it really needs it because it's hard up against the colour bond, or you can have it in vinyl, which is a solid material, which gives it a much greater impact. The traditional way of installing is by using sail track and Kedar on the sign. So you've got a sail track, you have the sign slides through it, we screw the sail track to the colour bond, tension it, put it up on the form. We like to try and get there as early as possible. The single biggest issue with the installation of the actual signage is access to site. We understand how busy sites are. We understand that they're always moving. There's different ways of install. We can either do it laying flat on the ground, very unusual, we just haven't got the time or the space. Next, we can look at doing it from a scissor lift. So if we've got a very stable concrete slab that's been positioned and we have access, generally they're 6 or 7 meters high, then we can use a scissor lift or a boom lift. Both work well. If the jump's already started and the building has commenced, in most cases, and probably the only way we can do it, is to run from a man box off the crane. The implications, of course, are cost to the site for having a crane down for a day or two, depending on the size of the jump form, plus manpower, etc. We can discuss that with you. I can certainly discuss that with you. I tend to do most of the jump forms within our business, just to make sure that we can sort of work with the pressures of construction, the time constraints, and trying to minimize the sorts of impacts that we have on the site. Other than that, there really isn't a whole lot of complication. It really is quite simply putting signs up on a slab-sided edge with great impact. The costs are very good value, and they tend, as a rule, to be probably the biggest bang for your buck as far as branding your company is concerned. The other thing that's really important with jump form is not only the expertise and getting the tension right, particularly on big signs, and when I say big, something from 10 to 20 meters wide, but also having all the right certificates, understanding how to work at height, understanding how to work within the framework of a man box. We generally require about a minimum of a 2.4 meter man box, up from there. With our experience, we've built up a great team of installers and printers that, again, not only really understand the requirements of working on a busy site, but have all their safety and their focus and their swims in place to move in, get the job done, move out in the safest possible way.